Once upon a time, in a quiet valley surrounded by silver mountains, there lived a boy named Arman. Arman was gentle, curious, and always dreaming of things beyond the hills. He spent most of his days tending to his family's small flock of sheep. But his nights were spent staring at the stars. The valley was known for its clear skies. At night, the stars shone like lanterns scattered by unseen hands. Arman often wondered if the stars were windows to another world. His grandmother, Nazira, told him stories about the Moon Queen. She said the Moon Queen lit her lantern each night to guide dreamers. Arman loved that story more than any other. One evening, as Arman rested under an oak tree, he heard a faint whisper. The voice seemed to come from the wind itself. "Arman," it called softly. He looked around but saw no one. The sheep grazed quietly. The trees swayed gently. Yet the voice spoke again. "Arman, the Moon Queen needs you." His heart raced. This must be my imagination, he thought. But then a soft glow appeared near the oak tree. It was a small creature, no taller than Arman's knee. Its body shimmered like starlight. Its eyes sparkled brighter than diamonds. "Do not be afraid," the creature said. "I am Leora, messenger of the Moon Queen." Arman's mouth fell open. He could not believe his eyes. "Why would the Moon Queen need me?" Arman asked. Leora bowed slightly. "The moon's light is fading. Shadows are trying to steal it. Without her light, dreams will vanish. And darkness will spread. You have been chosen to help restore her light." Arman felt both fear and excitement. He was just a shepherd boy. Yet something inside him whispered, "This is your destiny." He nodded slowly. "What must I do?" Leora smiled. "You must journey to the crystal cavern beyond the silver mountains. Inside rests the heart of light. Only with it can the Moon Queen's lantern shine again." Arman swallowed hard. "But the mountains are dangerous." Leora's glow flickered. "Yes. But you will not go alone." From the forest stepped a tall, graceful girl. She looked about Arman's age. Her hair shimmered like moonlight. Her eyes were calm yet strong. "This is Celine," Leora introduced. "She is the Moon Queen's guardian." Celine bowed politely. "I will guide you." Arman felt his cheeks warm. "I am honored," he whispered. That night, Arman told his grandmother he must leave. Nazira nodded knowingly. "The stars have called you, child." She hugged him tightly. "Be brave. Be kind. And trust your heart." Arman promised he would return. At dawn, Arman, Celine, and Leora began their journey. The valley looked smaller as they walked toward the mountains. The path was rough and steep. Arman's legs ached. But Celine's steady presence gave him courage. "Tell me," Arman asked as they climbed, "what are the shadows?" Celine's face darkened. "They are beings born from fear and despair. They feed on hopelessness. If the moon's light fades, they will cover the world." Arman shivered. "Then we must stop them." "Yes," Celine agreed, "but the shadows are clever. They whisper lies. They twist hearts." Arman clenched his fists. "I won't let them win." They walked for hours. The air grew colder. The mountains loomed higher. Clouds covered the sun. Then, suddenly, they heard a growl. From the rocks leapt a black wolf with fiery eyes. Armand froze. Celine drew a silver dagger. The wolf snarled and lunged. Armand raised his shepherd's staff. He swung with all his strength. The staff struck the wolf's side. The wolf yelped and staggered. Celine slashed with her dagger. The wolf dissolved into smoke. Armand gasped. What was that? Celine wiped her blade. A shadow beast. One of many. Armand trembled. But Celine placed a hand on his shoulder. You were brave. Armand managed a smile. They continued their journey. At night, they camped under the stars. Armand shared bread with Celine. Lyra hummed a soft tune. Do you miss home? Celine asked Armand. Yes, he admitted. But this feels like something I must do. Celine nodded. That is the heart of courage. The next day, they reached a dark forest. The trees were twisted. No birds sang. Shadows flickered between the trunks. Stay close, Celine whispered. They moved carefully. Suddenly, a shadowy figure blocked their path. It looked like a man, tall and cloaked. Turn back, the figure hissed. The heart of light belongs to us. Armand stepped forward. We will never give up. The figure laughed coldly. Then suffer. It raised its arms. Darkness swirled around them. Armand's chest tightened. Fear clawed at him. He almost dropped his staff. Then he remembered his grandmother's words, trust your heart. He closed his eyes. He thought of the valley. He thought of the sheep, the oak tree, and the stars. Warmth filled his chest. Light burst from his staff. The shadow figure screamed and vanished. Celine stared in amazement. You carry light within you. Armand blinked. I don't understand. Lyra fluttered closer. It is as I suspected. You are not just chosen, you are part of the light itself. Armand's heart pounded. Me? A shepherd boy? Celine smiled. Not just a shepherd boy. A guardian. Armand felt tears sting his eyes. But he nodded firmly. They pressed on. After days of travel, they reached the crystal cavern. The entrance glowed faintly. Inside, crystals sparkled like frozen stars. At the center stood a pedestal. On it rested a glowing gem, the heart of light. Armand stepped forward. Suddenly, the cavern shook. From the shadows rose a monstrous shape. It was larger than any beast Armand had seen. Its eyes blazed red. Its wings spread wide. The heart is ours, it roared. Celine drew her dagger. Armand gripped his staff. The beast lunged. Celine slashed. But the beast was strong. Armand swung his staff, light flashing. The beast howled but fought back fiercely. Rocks fell from the ceiling. Crystals shattered. Lyra cried, Armand. Use the light within you. Armand closed his eyes again. He thought of hope. He thought of dreams. He thought of the Moon Queen. His staff blazed brighter than ever. Light poured from his chest. It filled the cavern like a rising sun. The beast shrieked. Its body cracked. It dissolved into smoke. Silence filled the cavern. Armand gasped for breath. Celine placed a hand on his shoulder. You did it. Armand smiled faintly. He reached for the heart of light. The gem pulsed warmly. It felt alive in his hands. "Now," Leora said softly, "we must return it to the Moon Queen." They left the cavern. The journey back felt lighter. The mountains seemed less harsh. The sky grew brighter each night. Finally, they reached the valley. At midnight, under the stars, the Moon Queen appeared. She was radiant, clothed in silver and blue. Her eyes were gentle and kind. "Armand," she said, "you have done what few could." Armand knelt, holding out the heart of light. The Moon Queen touched it gently. The gem rose into the air. It merged with her lantern. Light spread across the valley. The stars sparkled brighter than ever. The shadows fled. Dreams were safe again. Armand looked up in awe. The Moon Queen smiled at him. "You are more than a shepherd, Armand. You are a guardian of light." Tears filled his eyes. "But I am just me. That," she said, "is enough." She placed her hand on his head. "When darkness rises again, your light will shine." Armand felt warmth spread through him. Celine stood proudly beside him. Leora fluttered happily. The Moon Queen faded into the night sky. The valley glowed peacefully. Armand returned home. His grandmother hugged him tightly. "I knew you would shine," she whispered. The sheep bleated happily. Life in the valley returned to normal. But Armand knew he was changed. He still tended sheep. He still sat under the oak tree. But now, when he looked at the stars, he felt them looking back. Celine visited often. They laughed and shared stories. Leora sometimes brought news from the Moon Queen. And Armand's heart was always ready. For he knew shadows would rise again someday. And when they did, he would stand. Not just as a shepherd. Not just as a dreamer. But as a guardian of light. The valley slept peacefully each night. Children dreamed sweet dreams. The moon shone brighter than ever. Armand often whispered a promise to the stars. "I will protect the light." His grandmother would smile knowingly. The world seemed safer with Armand in it. And though he was young, his courage was boundless. The Moon Queen often watched from above. Her lantern glowed with renewed brilliance. And the shadows stayed far away. The valley remained a place of peace. And Armand's story lived on in every dreamer's heart. Forever and always.